Hey everybody. So I just wanted to make a video to help you guys get started in your technical analysis. So a couple things that traders look for when they're doing technical analysis is support, resistance, and channels. So we like to understand what price is doing historically on any chart before we trade it. So support is just an area on a chart where buyers come in, which causes price to rise. So if we're looking at this chart right here, you guys can kind of see that there's an area down here where buyers come in that causes price to rise, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a price level. So I right clicked on the chart, I added drawing, and I come up here to price level. Okay, so we are looking for as many touches as we can, as many touches as we can get on this line without price closing below. All right. So when we have that, we can label this as a support level. So we recognize that there's a support level over here, and now it's definitely a support level. We see proof of it. It's buyers come in around this level, right? Now we also look for resistance, and this is simply a price level where sellers typically come in, causing price to fall. And if we look up here, there's obviously some resistance, right? We even have it over here, tried to get over our resistance, but price fell. So let's go ahead and mark that one too. Okay, as many touches as price where price does not close above. So I mean, we could even come back down and call this one an outlier, which was quickly corrected. Okay, and now you'll see that, let's label it real quick. Oops, that's nice and zoomed in. Okay, so now that you see that resistance, let's label it resistance. Okay, and we have another resistance level up here. Okay, and maybe we even have another support in this middle area. We can see that buyers come in here, and they do it over here too. So let's go ahead and make another support. And I'm simply right-clicking on these price levels and duplicating them. And I'm looking for many touches where price does not close below. And there's some resistance over here, acts as support, and now it's finding support. So now that we have these, let's zoom out and look at a little bit more. Okay, so we can see how this level, we have buyers. This is a good place to be buying. And we can also see that when we broke this resistance, we broke above it, and then we held above it. Price wanted to continue up after that. Buyers were here at this price level, or above this level, there were still buyers, which caused price to rise. Now, eventually, we ran into some resistance. And before, I only had it zoomed in to about this area, right through here, right up until 8/16 of 2019. But as we see, this support level, once this started to hold, price wanted to go back up. Where did it go back up to? Our resistance. This was a good place to be taking profit. And if you had waited until price broke out again, that's fine, but you still knew this is a good place to take profit. This is a good place to buy. And again, when we break out above our resistance level and we hold above it and we find buyers above this level, price wants to move up again. Now, price doesn't just move up based on support and resistance. Price moves based on trends as well. So if we're looking at this, let's focus on the end. What SPY has been doing. You might even notice there's levels of support and resistance through here. So just quickly, I'm going to duplicate this top one here, and we can see a level of resistance. right? A level of resistance. Then we broke over it, price continued higher. And might even say we have another one through here. Price tried to get above but couldn't stay above. Got above, held above. There were buyers. Price continued up. Okay? Let's duplicate this support because you might even notice there's a support level through here. Buyers exist. Once price broke out and was holding above about 309, let me try to get as many touches as possible. Once we broke this resistance, see over here, it was resistance. Once we broke it, price held above it, it became support. Okay? But when price moves in these trends and is breaking these support and resistance levels, when it is on a strong trend, we also look for channels. So I'm going to add a drawing, and I'm going to add a trend line. We're just going to start at the bottom of this trend and see where it's going. To get the top, I just duplicated that line that I drew. You might even find that there's a mid channel. Right around here. It looks like we have more resistance right here. And once this resistance turned into support, price moved up. So when you start to identify these things, you end up identifying buy and sell zones on the charts. You know, it won't allow you to really predict the next resistance this way, except if you're following the trend. You know, where does it typically find resistance on this uptrend? Where is it getting too steep? So we look for these kinds of things when we are charting. It is very important to recognize, you know, simple laws of supply and demand. You know, if all other factors remain equal, the higher the price of a good, the more people are going to want to sell it. So when we hit these resistance levels, you know, more people are ready to take profit. So it causes price to fall. Now, when price falls, more people want to buy it. Law of supply. You know, there's more people who want to buy at a lower price than want to buy up here. So when it falls again, people buy, price moves back up. When it gets back up, sellers come in. And when it hits our trend, buyers come back in. Okay? So it's really important that you're able to find these things. And they exist across all time frames and on every single chart. Right now we're looking at a daily chart, but we could be looking at the market on a 1 hour chart. And if you looked at it this week on a 1 hour chart, you knew that there was some resistance around here, right? And once price was able to get above resistance and hold above that resistance level, price continued up. And now we're at a new resistance level. As many touches as we can get without price closing above. So we have a new resistance level right around here. We even have another resistance level somewhere in this area. Let's bring it down. Tried to get above, but couldn't. Once it got above and held above, price moved up. So, and you can break this down even further. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. If you had noticed on this day that these resistance and support levels were there, you could have traded between them. If price didn't look like it was going to hold above, you knew where it was going and you knew where to buy. So support and resistance is a really powerful tool. And our channels are as well, because they tell us where price wants to go, right? You can even go a little higher, get one more touch, and you'll see we ran right up into our resistance, which was formed this morning in pre-market, and we have been unable to get above, which should tell us that likely on Monday or Tuesday, MLK is on Monday, so it's a trading holiday, price will likely fall and find some support down here, maybe about halfway down. And that will be a good place to buy. And as long as price can hold above that level, we'll expect it to come back up here. And this would be a good place to take some profit. Okay, well, just wanted to talk about, support, resistance, and some channels. And like I said, we can look at it all on any time frame. And when you're looking at SPY, for example, if you look at, say, the monthly, you can see that it's really taking off lately. Matter of fact, this is the trend it was on for, many, many years. Right? We have been trying to break out of that trend, and now we are finally breaking out of that trend, holding, and we'll see where our top comes in. But right now, if we even added this in, you can see we're making a new section of this channel. If we break down our channels to a weekly level, we can also see where it's going on a weekly time frame. Let me turn this one white so we understand it's our weekly one. Duplicate. Might even be a midsection in this as well. Maybe something like that. And if we're hitting the top now, like I said, it'd be not unlikely to fall a little bit. We have our daily channel that we're inside. This is our long-term trend, our weekly trend, so it takes a very long time to play out. And our daily is a lot more near term. Where are we going on the daily? Let's turn this one, this yellowish color. Find our top and our bottom. You can find a middle, something like that. Maybe more like that. More touches. All right. So we can see that we're coming up on resistance, middle trend line of the channel and middle trend line of our weekly channel. You can even see that today was a gap up, and we have more like a hanging man candle suggesting we'll fall. And where will we likely fall? To this channel support, about halfway down. And in the meantime, it will allow us to fill the gap. 329.02. We'll call this the gap. And if we hold above the gap and hold at our trend line here, this is our buy zone. And where would we want to be taking profit? At our resistance up here. So that's just some basic technical analysis. I go into it much deeper and walk through the importance of all of this stuff in my class, and I teach students how to find it with some tools that make it a lot more mathematical, and it's more the way Wall Street finds their trades. But this is still a very, very important thing to understand. And the old school way that I've been doing it here, the non-mathematical way of finding support and resistance that I was showing you is still very, very valid and very important. And I still apply these techniques in the trading that I do. So make sure that you understand where price wants to go and the resistance that it has to face off against in the way or on the way. Right? And if we're able to identify these things, we're able to identify buy and sell zones all throughout any chart. Right? Okay, guys. Well, I hope that helps.